Okay, in video 3 we're now in the generation of the purchase order process, and what will occur is that in the email box, the manager in charge of generating purchase orders for approval to the purchase authority will receive an email, and in that email it will show who the original submitter was, the reference number, that this is a purchase request has already been reviewed, and you'll see that the email came from the divisional manager's email address. And simply opening that up once more, you'll see that that information. Now, in this process, what will occur is the manager will want to scroll down and ensure that the approval code has been entered. Okay, now only management will be able to receive an email with that type of identification marker included in it. Any other automated notification and alert systems with regards to this purchase order, that field has been removed from view, so it will not be seen. Once again, this is in a read-only format, so the purchase manager at this point will scroll up into the body of the email and right click copy the report ID and just simply click here. It's going to take us back into the login page where we can enter into the actual record. And the password will always be lowercase v quarter. And click submit. And at this point we're going to select the generate purchase order task at hand, and they just continue on. The purchase manager can review the information, ensure that everything's correct, filled out properly on the form once again. Review any notes that the manager has made with regards to this, and then fill in the section for the generate the purchase order. We're going to say test manager, and then the email address for this individual. I believe it's drd at groupbti.com. The date that the purchase order was generated, in this case we're going to use today's date, and once again time is in 24-hour format, so there's a comparison chart by clicking on the icon there if you're unfamiliar with the 24-hour time format. And we'll say that the purchase order was generated at 10:45 in the morning. Enter in the VTI purchase order number and any notes. At this point, the purchase order will be uploaded into the and attached to the record. And now we'll see that this has been attached into the record, and continue on. And the purchase order process has been completed, or the generation of the purchase order process has been completed at this time, and we'll click submit. And now what will occur is that in the inbox of the purchase authority, in this case now, they will see that a purchase order has been generated, and it's been sent from the purchase manager's email address, and so forth. Now, at this point, what will occur is the purchase authority within the company, and at this point it's Dr. Jim Blanchard, who has the authority to approve or deny purchases. We'll scroll down. So at the bottom of the form, or towards the bottom of the request form, what we see is that the purchase order has been generated and is currently attached. So Dr. Jim Blanchard, or the purchase authority, can go ahead and just click on that from within the body of the email itself. And at this point, what will occur is that the purchase order will actually pop up into a new window. Now, I've only said this is a test PO. However, had this been an actual purchase order, what you would see is in a PDF format the actual purchase order that had been generated for this request. So we're going to continue on here. At this point, after having reviewed the purchase and is now ready to approve or deny the process, we're just going to simply right click copy and click here. And now we are going to re-enter into the record and enter in the lowercase b quarter once again as the password. Click submit and continue on. At this point, we are now currently in the purchase order approval process, and we are going to click next. Once again, review any of the information that had been submitted with regards to the request, purchase price and so forth, documentation, and any comments that was made by management. In addition, they could have just logged right in directly to the form and popped open this would pop open into another window again. It's just similar as had it occurred within the purchase order email that was received. At this point, it's important to go ahead and close out the the request. By default, this will always remain open unless closed is selected. Purchase approval is by Dr. Jim Blanchard. Approval amount was $210, I believe is what we had entered in there. Once again, the approval code known to management only to authenticate for purchasing the product, and the PO approval email. By default, this will remain Dr. Jim Blanchard's email address. It's not so it's an autofill. In the event Jim Blanchard has somebody else approving the process, please go ahead and enter in the email address appropriately. We'll just leave it blank at this point. The date the purchase was approved or denied, we're going to say that it is today's date, and the time once again is 24-hour formatting, and we will say that it occurred at 1:00 p.m. Any additional instructions from management would be added here, and this is where the purchase authority might make some additional comments. Purchase approved. Change delivery location to meth. Okay, so at this point, what will occur is just you can attach any supporting documentations as well at that point, and just click submit, and the approval process has been complete at this time. Now, in the email box of the original submitter, and in this case we had entered in my email address once again, had it been Tyler App's email address, what they would have seen is two things. Number one, that comes in, we've got two emails that came in, because I'm receiving both emails, all the automated notifications into my email box here. The first email that came into my box was the one that would be originally sent back to the submitter, and this is what they would see. Scrolling on down through this, and what you'll notice is that the approval codes will not be included into any of the information. So this one went to this was the purchase order that was sent. I apologize, this was the purchase order that was sent to purchasing automatically, and this does include the authority purchase codes, as we can see here, the authentication codes. Okay, so purchasing is aware that this email did come from them, matches the authentication codes, and continues on with the purchase. And then the automated email alert that's back to the original submitter will show that the purchase request has been reviewed. Please see for comments. And at this point, they would just simply scroll down and take a look at any comments that had been made. And once again, we can see from these fields that those authentication codes are not viewable to the employees. Those are only viewable to management. Once again, the whole section there's the approval amount and so forth like that. However, and the additional instructions are viewable as well. However, the approval codes have been removed. And that concludes the approval process as well. Thank you very much.